Folks, my first guest tonight is a model and actress. You can see her on Central Park West and her own talk show called Lauren Hutton and. Please welcome to our program, Lauren Hutton. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Pleasure.
You've got, you know, whenever you have your own show come out, whenever someone does one of these things, there's all this press that digs into your past. So I was going through a mountain of your press today, and I came across something that shocked me a little bit, frankly. I came across a story that you were a former Playboy bunny. And I'd never... Thanks, fellas, yeah. But anyway, that shocked me because I do not associate your very glamorous model, actress. I don't associate you with that.
That's pretty glamorous. Actually, you know, once a bunny, always a bunny. It's, they like
it stays with you for life.
Absolutely. It's funny how they define women collectively forever in America. I was a bunny 3 months. But I was a lunch bunny, too. I was too young to work at night.
What is a lunch bunny?
Lunch bunny works only lunches because you're too young. I was 18. The drinking age, I think, at that time was 21 in America. So it was really weird. But
Hugh Hefner had it that worked out that there are layers of bunnies?
No, it's by your age. I couldn't work past a certain hour by American law at the time.
Okay.
So I could only work lunches.
So you're like a lieutenant bunny. You're sort of
It's a baby bunny.
Baby bunny. Okay. All right.
I left it, but in fact, I was so I did that for about 3 months or so. I was a live wriggler, breeder.
What? Now you've completely lost me. That's another kind of bunny?
Well, the worms. What? I was a worm salesman for like 3 or 4 years. I grew my own worms and sold them. And people never say that. And I mentioned them. And I was a good one.
No, not as a bunny, though.
Not as a bunny.
Oh, okay. No, I thought that was like another service.
It's another job category.
Another job category. You sold worms?
But people don't mention that, and I think that's as interesting, no? Especially mine.
It doesn't...
I sold iridescent wrigglers that had these collars. They were about 8 inches long. And my secret, in case anyone wants to know, is caffeine in the compost pit. You throw old coffee grounds into the compost pit, and then the worms are eating their way through pure caffeine. And you get these wrigglers you can barely put on a hook.
This is not as glamorous an interview as I thought anymore. This is just not. I think I have Lauren Hutton, and I'm going to talk about being a Playboy bunny, and immediately we get into you and compost heaps. So this is true. You really, because you actually sold worms.
Yes,
and raised them.
Could. I almost, well, my guarantee I couldn't hold up to, but it was 1 live mouth bass in the first 6 minutes.
Incredible. You can promise that? Why is that? Because
I was sort of lying. We had a pretty good pond back there.
Really? But it was because the worms were doped up on caffeine that they would
they would just drive bass crazy. I feel like going out and growing a bunch right now. It's going to be all excited.
All right, we'll do that. We'll go out and we'll do that. Let me ask you about your show. Okay, you've been doing it for it just premiered actually a couple weeks ago.
I think it's about 2 weeks.
It's about 2 weeks ago now. And I tuned in the other night, and you had a guest that I would have loved to have talked to. You were talking to a cannibal expert. And I thought that's a great thing to do on a talk show, get a cannibal expert. This guy was fascinating.
Yeah, I hunted him down. It was Hans Ashkenazi. It was Hans Ashkenazi. And he wrote a book called Cannibalism from, I don't know, Succulence to Surviving and something. And so we talked about that. Because I think
Cannibalism made easy, yeah. All right.
Yeah, he said he wants me put in my will, because I always said when I was a kid, I used to think about kid in my 20s. I thought, you know, I'd give off parts of my body to my 4 best friends and get, like, different chefs in and stuff like that. Use your body when you die.
This is the craziest talk.
It was the 60s. It was the 60s. We were wild. We were woolly.
No. Don't excuse it as, like, don't say it was the 60s. Because I've never heard anyone talk about cannibalism and then go, oh, it was the 60s, you know? That was the 60s. Woodstock, lots of pot, and cannibalism. No, I don't think that was a big part of it.
But what my real interest in it is that it's the last taboo, in a way, the last serious big taboo. People don't really talk about it much. It's not known. So I figure it must have been the first taboo, and I figured that we, girls, started it. And maybe it was the start of civilization, because guess who gets eaten first?
The man.
No.
It's always the man.
No, they'd like that, but never mind. That's another subject.
Bobby, you're asking now if this is a family show. No. This is no longer a family show.
Girls and
this was
women
never
and children,
a family show.
you know, are weaker and can't run fast, so I'm sure that they got eaten first in the old bad cave days when the boys were a little too pilt down, or whatever they were being.
My God.
And so I'll bet women put out that rule. I bet that was the first rule we made collectively.
Let's stop eating each other right now.
I would think, wouldn't you? I'll bet you.
Who
agrees with me? Anyone here?
Yeah, I know. I think.
I'll bet the girls said, okay, guys, you know what? Don't take the kids out anymore. And,
oh, my God. This is the...
Keep Uncle, Ted. Keep Uncle Ted from walking off.
God.
I'm sure that's how it works.
2 rules, yeah. Get your feet off the ottoman and stop eating the children. Those are the 2.
Let's face it, you boys are rough.
Yeah, hey. You don't even know us. Yeah, you don't know what goes on here.
I mean, it's your glory and your downfall.
Really?
But we are dedefinitely different.
You were the first guest to come out here and accuse me of cannibalism ever on this show. You and Al Roker are the 2 only to do it. Now, this is fascinating because I talk to you, I see you here in person. It's no secret. You're over 50, but it's hard to believe. It is very hard to believe because you look fantastic. You're very youthful. And my question is, and you're still modeling. Is that correct? Yeah. This is the amazing thing. The amazing thing is you're still modeling quite successfully, and you have a much younger boyfriend, don't you?
Well, I wouldn't. He's not something you have to throw back, you know. I mean, he is a man. He's
17. He's 17 years old.
No, he's 40.
He's 40.
So he's younger than me, but he is a man.
All right, now...
40-year-olds. It's a good generation.
That's right. And you work with him. He's the creator of the...
Yes, he invented and created the whole show, and he's the cameraman and the one of the head editors. And
how does it work with the relationship? Can you boss him around?
Well, you got a camera here? I'll show you what's starting to happen.
What's that?
Can anyone shoot that?
Oh, my God. Look at that. What happened? Oh, this show is turning into Rolando. What is...
Rolando.
Well, what happened there? Why do you have that big bruise?
And then I have them up here. Well, I tell everybody that he beats me. He doesn't like that. But in fact, his...
Gee, why doesn't he like that joke? He's just a stiff. He doesn't laugh at those jokes. Wait, how did you really get them?
Luca Babini. Well, we were out in the Southwest, and he was carrying a credenza down this large dock that he's met. A credenza is a giant piece of furniture.
Oh, okay.
It's like 10 by 4. I guess they're closets. They call them chiffoniers, all sorts of things. And in the pitch black, he's carrying this thing down a dock that's over the sagebrush. It's very narrow, and he yells for me, and I come running out. He says, grab the end of this. And I said, I can't see. And I'm going down the thing like this, and he's in front, hauling it on his back like this. And suddenly, we got to the place where the dock turns, and I didn't see it, and I went straight down, and the thing landed on him. He squashed like a frog. He's screaming. I'm not able to scream, and that's what happened. That's the story.
And now you just tell people that he beats you.
Yeah. I think it's traumatic.
That's a very traumatic thing that happened to you.
It's traumatic and traumatic.
Yeah, and he's going to be very upset when he sees this interview tonight.
It ended up great because we laughed because we were both alive when we found out, checked ourselves out. No bones were broken, so it actually turned out to be a lot of fun.
Being alive is a nice end to any story.
I love it.
And you know what? We're still alive.
Yeah.
That's a happy story. Yeah. Well, this turned out very differently than I thought.
Sorry.
No, in a good way. Cannibalism, worms. It was just a fascinating, disgusting interview.
Good.
And, yeah, I'm completely horrified now. But let me make sure I mention again, Lauren Hutton, of course, is syndicated, your show. And Central Park West is Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on CBS. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Miller's coming up. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.